Dispelling the Myths, TPI and PTSD, CAP Innovation Day, Impact in the Workplace, Lisa Stern.
The question always comes up, what do you do about it at work? Okay, you're here because you're either working with people or you just want the information or you want to know what you could do. So symptoms of a brain injury, it's sometimes called post-concussion or post-concussive syndrome. Few people will have all of these, but it's helpful to know what they might be. Not that you're going to look at them and diagnose them, but just so you kind of know what it is. So there's 3 different ways that a brain injury could impact someone's ability to work. Physical, cognitive, and emotional. So let's look at the physical. Headaches, feeling dizzy, being tired, trouble sleeping, vision problems, bothered by light and noise. Anyone ever here ever have any of those issues? Just checking. Just saying, because my kids will tell me. All right. So cognitive, memory problems, trouble staying focused, poor judgment and impulsivity. My kids would say every day of my life. Being slowed down, trouble putting thoughts into words. Anybody here ever experience any of that? Okay. Emotional, depression, anger outbursts or quick to anger, anxiety, fear, worry, feeling nervous, or kind of, slight personality changes. Anyone in here ever feel any of those? Okay. So what this tells me is that you all know what these signs and symptoms are. So it's nothing, when I put it up like this and have this discussion, it hits me every single time that seeing this and understanding this, there's nothing to fear. There's a lot of fear attached. Stigma often comes from fear. People don't know what they don't know, and they're afraid to ask. There's fear associated with not thinking you understand or not experience it. But if you understand what that person could be experiencing, then that fear that's just gone, because it's nothing other than what we have all experienced sometimes every day. When I look at the memory problems, I'm sometimes glad that I wear a name tag. Who am I? But it's, think about, you might have had this, here and there. Think about someone that's experiencing this every day. So it kind of puts a little bit of that into context. The thing that's most important to understand is the majority of the TBIs that are coming back from conflict are mild, what they're deeming mild TBIs. Most people with a mild TBI will be back to, I say quote unquote normal, because there's no one that's going to define normal for me. I'd say back to themselves within about 3 months. Okay, and the brain is truly remarkable. The brain is probably one of the most remarkable, not organs, but things in the universe, because it has such an ability to make remarkable and incredible gains in a short period of time. So, for people that have had any of the signs and symptoms that we talked about just a minute ago, we're going to just look at some of the very basic accommodations that could be put in place for someone. Flexible scheduling. Now, federal government's a very interesting place, I think. The private industry is really coming along with flexible scheduling. The government is moving. Okay, but that's good. It's huge. I mean, I don't know. Of course, I would expect that by tomorrow, everyone should be able to have flexible scheduling. If you want to telecommute it. But they are coming along. But truth be told, having the ability to have a flexible schedule, have some more breaks or longer breaks in the workday is an accommodation. But is it an accommodation that someone should have to ask for? Or should that be an accommodation that a good manager would know anybody might need? Just think about that. Additional time to learn new responsibilities. Think about a lot of these accommodations as management practices and good management practices. Do you ask people how they learn best? Has anyone ever asked you how you learn best? Has anyone ever asked you what you need to be successful? Is it easier for me to give you directions written down? Do you want me to tell them to you? Should I email them to you? Giving people choices and helping them to understand, I'm asking you this because I'm doing this as a good manager, not because I'm picking you out because I think or I know that you have a TBI. Allowing for use of supportive employment or job coaches. There's a lot of new programs out there that, specifically from the VA, that are working with people that need a little more assistance coming back to work. And sometimes a job coach will be there to help someone just kind of get their bearings and figure out what it is that they need to do. But that's an accommodation. Providing job sharing opportunities, encouraging the employee to use to-do lists. How many people use your BlackBerry, use Outlook to remind you of things? Okay. How many people only remembered about today's meeting because it popped up yesterday as a reminder? No, not me. I knew. Okay, so those types of things, again, a to-do list, having check-offs, that's something that would be good for anybody, but could be good for someone with a brain injury. Special calendars to mark meetings, assigning a mentor to assist an employee in determining goals and guidance, providing written and verbal, as well as verbal instructions. The thing to remember with any type of accommodation is the accommodation is not for the disability. The accommodation is for the functional limitation that the person is experiencing because of the disability. So when people would say, what are the accommodations for TBI? Okay. It depends. What is the person experiencing? What is it that they need? What is the job that they need to do? So while there are lots of different types of accommodations, the focus is what is it that you need? What is it that, and I don't like, the functional limitation to me sounds negative, but it's really not. But it's what is it that you need due to what has happened that you need to be successful. So that's something else that we don't always think about. We always think about, well, here's just a list of accommodations and this is what you get. Well, no, because it's about the person as well.
For more information, visit www.cap.mil.